So today we are going to talk about the electrical system on the Yamaha e-bike. So stick around. Well, hello again, Internet. Welcome back to the channel. I'm going to give you just a little bit of an initial review on the Yamaha e-bike, just the electrical parts of it. Not the bike parts, but the electrical parts. You know, when I first got this thing, I thought the electrics are underwhelming, but they're actually quite sophisticated. And so I thought maybe I should share that with you guys, what they're like. And so one of the very first things that I noticed about it was, let's come down here, do a little bit of a stop. As soon as you put your foot on the pedal and put pressure, you're getting power. You're getting power. And even the torque sensors that I've rode, actually even a Bosch bike that I rode didn't come on instantly. You had a little bit of play in there before it would come on. So that's something that takes a little bit of getting used to, but it's actually very good for very technical climbs and things like that. So that was difference number one of what most of us are used to out there. What are some other differences that I've noticed? Well, this, let's come on down here. This battery right now says 89%. It's going to stay at 89% until it goes to 88%. In other words, what it's not going to do is drop to 86 and then back up to 89. And then after you've let it set for a little while, go up a little bit. Is that it's not a game changer, but it's something definitely different. You know, when I first seen that, I thought, man, that's better than what we're used to. I don't know if it's, I think it's just different. I think it's just different, but it is refreshing to know that is what's left on your battery. So what's some other differences on this? Well, let's stop here again. Excuse me. I don't know how well you can see this, but that says A high. And what that means is I'm in an automatic mode. And so as I just geared down here, there was a blue light on there, which I will explain in just a little bit. It turned to a green light. It means we went down into eco mode. I didn't do anything. It's an automatic. That A means we're in an automatic mode on this bike. And so it puts the bike in what should be the correct mode for what you're riding at the time. That's something I've never seen on any of the other bikes, and I'm liking it. I'm liking that mode quite a lot. We're back out at, this is the trails that are close by, because we're through the week again. I've been trying to get out here several times a week just to ride, and it's close to home, so you guys might recognize some of these trails. But yeah, that's a refreshing to know I have, you know, whatever the percentage of battery, that says that's what I have. So that's another difference in there. What are some other differences in the electronics? You know, the E side of this e-bike. Well, it does have a speed sensor in, I believe this one is in the rear hub, but we are kind of used to passenger assist 1 is going to go up to X speed. Passenger assist 2 will go up to X, you know, Y speed. Passenger assist 3 will, you know, you see what I'm saying? Now, this, in the Eco, we're going to take off the automatic here. And to do that, you just press the top button, the plus button, for 1.5 seconds, I think it is. It might be 2 seconds. But we're in Eco mode now. Now, this is going to give me Eco mode power. I don't care how fast I'm going. I'm going to continue to get Eco mode power out of this until I get to 20 miles an hour. And then it will cut out at 20. I think when I reset the tripometer on this, I believe it said I was at 22 or 23 at some point. But that's a difference. You get, I'm getting, for sake of explanation here, there's 5 assist levels here. You got your Eco, standard, high, mountain bike, and extra power. So we'll say each one is 20%. That's not what it actually is. But you're getting 20% added to your legs in Eco. Then you're getting 40% added to your legs in standard, 60% in high. And so the speed does not do anything to the different assist levels. I don't know, that's not really explained real well, but hopefully it's kind of understandable. What else do we have? Differences between this and the bikes that we are kind of a bit more used to in the electronics. There is no cutoff switch on the brakes, you know. And as far as I'm concerned, that's a good thing. I don't want a cutoff switch on my off-road bike. I want to have the power on when I'm pushing it, whether I'm using the brakes or not. What else do we have here? Just the fact that when you touch it, when you turn it on, you just click it and turn it on. It's not holding it in for a certain amount of time. That just, like I said, it's different. I'm not going to say it's better. I'm not going to say it's worse. It felt pretty good to me to just click, turn the thing on, though. I can tell you that. But let's take a look at the display itself for just a second. Okay, we're going to talk about the Yamaha display for their PWX2. To turn it on, you just give it a quick stab. You don't hold it in like we're kind of used to. We'll turn on the backlight on here. And this is going to be the display unit. Very discreet, very small. It's going to give you your battery bars up at the top. This is going to be a watt meter over here of the amount of power that you're using. And it's going to tell you what assistance you're in. Down here, this is the odometer. This is going to be a value that can be changed right here. Now, when you turn it on, the power assist is off. If you put it up to economy, you've got a green light coming on. That way, at a quick glance, without even looking, you can tell what power mode you're in. Then you get into a blue light for your standard and your high, and then a white light for the mountain bike and a yellow light for the extra power. Now you can also, well, we'll get into that in the settings here a little bit. Down here, you've got your odometer, but you can select through this and you can get your tripometer, 21.3 miles, your average speed, your maximum speed, your range. We'll come back to that range in just a second. Your battery, your cadence, and you have a clock on here. I've not actually set the clock yet, so it's not 11:02. But if we come back to this range here, if you're in off, it says nothing. But if you come up to eco range, we have a 68-mile range. I actually tested this on standard, which you have seen, and it looks like I would have had 32 point some miles if I'd run it all the way down to 0. And it's calling for 33 miles. So I'm going to say that's pretty accurate. That's something that just we're not really used to these ranges being that accurate. Mountain bike, you've got a 27-mile range. I think for high is a 30-mile range. And then the 27-mile range for the extra power. That's pretty close to the mountain bike power. Now your range is on here, your eco. This is really, well, we'll get into this in some other areas, but this really just covers for the fact that you're riding an e-bike instead of, you know, a regular bike. It takes care of the weight. Now, if we go into, if we hold down the select button, we've got a stopwatch available, and this watch goes up to 9 hours, 59 minutes, and 59 seconds before it rolls over again. And that's going to be for training. And you can turn that on and off here. You can adjust your clock right here. You can get your, between your mileage and, you know, kilometers or miles. Display items, we're going to talk about that in just a second. You can reset your max, average, tripometer, everything right there. Bluetooth, this does connect up with things like a Garmin and that type of thing right there. And so this is a Bluetooth mode. And you've got a USB. There's a USB port right under here, but it is also a communication port. So you can tap this into a computer and find out basically what's going on in your motor, make some changes in your motor. If you've got the, I think that's for authorized Yamaha dealers only. The LED, the lights up here that light up, you can turn them off completely here if that's not something you want to use. I actually really very much appreciate that. And then you've got your exit. Now, we're going to come back up to our display items. We're going to select this. And the tripometer, I'm going to take the tripometer out of there. I'm going to take the average speed away. I'm going to take the maximum speed out. My range I'm going to keep. My battery I'm going to keep. Cadence, I think I will keep the cadence for right now. I'd like to see, you know, how that's going. And my clock, we're going to get rid of that. And now we're down to the exit. So now we've only got the battery, cadence, our odometer, and our range. That's the only 4 things we've got on our display item out here. Now, one other thing I want to show you that I've never seen on another bike, but if I hold down the plus button here, that puts us into an automatic mode. And what that does is it's going to pick up, if you're coming up a hill, the amount of torque that you're putting in, if you're on a flat ground, and it's going to switch between standard, eco, and high modes. And so that's something that I've not seen anywhere before. Like I say, the backlight, you know, it turns on and off. It does have a walk mode. I've not really even looked into all the ways to use the walk mode. I don't plan on having to push anywhere. So we're not going to worry about the walk mode on this. The electronics in this, I had mentioned before that there's, you know, the bells and whistles are on the bicycle parts. But I have to tell you, the feel of this is unlike even the Bosch motors that I've rode. It is 100% intuitive. So I'm really impressed with that. But that is the display on the Yamaha. So that's the display and that's the electronics in a nutshell. Oh, one thing I had not mentioned yet, the charger. It is a 4-amp charger. This is a 36-volt system. It's a 4-amp charger. If your battery is totally depleted, it will charge you from 0 to 80% in 1 hour. And in that last 20%, it's going to trickle charge over a 3-hour period to get that last. But if you're using this as a commuter to go to work and you run your battery down, you can get 80% of that charge. Well, heck, work nothing. You can go to lunch and get 80% of the charge. But yeah, that's pretty much the electronics on this in a nutshell. So down in the comments, tell me what parts of this you think are good, what parts maybe not so good that you're not interested in. And, you know, share your thoughts with me. Myself, I'm pretty pleased with this bike. There's no question about that. It's quiet. It's rock solid. Well, we'll get into that with a review. You know, as far as there's just nothing bumping around on it anywhere. But we'll get into that with a review, and you don't want to miss that review. So if you haven't already, hit the subscribe, hit the bell, and hit that thumbs up. And if you don't like it, well, hit the thumbs down. I don't care. It doesn't show anyway. So I think that's going to wrap it up on this one right here. So from out here in the woods, this is Southern E-Biking. You know what we're telling you. Stay safe, God bless, and keep the wheels rolling. Try that one more time. Once again, we are out.